Well, welcome to another edition of the Business is Mission podcast. I'm Mike Baer, and I've got my colleague who doesn't usually join me for these, but he is today because he's how I got connected to Alex, Bob Bush. Bob, welcome. Glad to have you on the show. And Alex Samwell from Tanzania, special welcome to you, brother. It's been hard to get this all worked out, but here you are. Bob has been very faithful in getting you on here, and you finally made it. And I'm not even going to steal your thunder. Alex, tell us a little bit about yourself and what is your good news that just happened?
Oh yes, so thanks to God for me being here. It's a wonderful time. My parents named me Alex William Samuel, the name that I like the most, and God has blessed me with a loving and lovely wife with the name Rehema Andrew. And 8 years ago, we adopted a child with the name Angel. And we thank God that from Angel, our second daughter is named Blessing. And recently, like 2 days this week, we received another girl, another daughter with the name Praise. So Angel brought praise, and after getting praising, we are now after getting blessed, we are now praising God. So
well, congratulations, brother. That's so. I hope those of you on the podcast and not on the YouTube video of this, you can't see Alex's smile, but it is literally ear to ear. He is, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, Praise was just born like a day or two ago.
yes, like 2 days ago.
Wow. So he has Angel, Blessing, and Praise. We were teasing before the show that he said, if I have a son next, I'm going to name him Genesis.
Yeah.
So, because he'll be the first.
Yeah.
So Alex, so good to have you on, and thanks for joining us. Tell us a little bit. We really just want to get to know you and hear your story. Tell us a little bit about your background and how the Lord got a hold of you, how he's led you into work and ministry, and we'll take it from there. Bob, you know, just jump in anytime. This is you're as much part of this as anybody. So
I was born in Tanzania, Lake Zone part along Lake Victoria, with my parents, who was previously, my father was a businessman, and my mom used to stay at home looking and taking care after the family. But in 1998, my dad was sure robbed and being beaten by thieves. And from there, his vision, his dream to become a businessman died. He was not able to do anything, and he was taken to the hospital. I remember he was there 3 months at the ICU, intensive care unit, without speaking, without eating, and it was very, very bad. But you know what? God saw the dream that he was supposed to pass the business ideas, the community development ideas to the generation. And I'm the firstborn among the 3 brothers in my family. As years went on, God helped me to secure scholarship positions, and I believe that God financed my education system. I was taken to the private system that have got better education compared to the government education system. And it's there now where my mindset was shaped, and I was prepared to be a leader. Today, I am the regional director of Get Hope Global. This is a United States organization that deals with biblical-based business ideas, business plans, and business lessons, where we teach vulnerable women and young girls who didn't get the chance to be educated. We teach them and we provide them with business skills that can help them do better business, try a business. And you know why did I choose this work? It was after seeing my mom, who was just a mother house, a mom who was just left to take care of the children. After my dad's, global, my dad didn't perform anything, and the whole family engaged. The whole family responsibilities were upon this vulnerable woman who had never gone to primary school, who had never been exposed to business ideas. And it's very difficult to secure a job if you're not educated. And this was my mom. She was exposed to start, entrepreneurship things. But again, it was very, very bad. As a grown up, I learned that empowered women can do good things. And that's why I was motivated to go to university and start the business administration, Bachelor of Business Administration, BBA.
Just to jump in here real quick, and Bob, you too. So I just think about, I know it was a terrible thing what happened to your father. There's no question the suffering and the damage that he experienced, all of that. But look how God took it. And I love the way you phrased it, Alex, that he took your father's vision and he gave it to you, right? The vision did not end. It continued, but God was really overseeing all of this to take that dream of your dad and put it in your heart and mind and what you've done with it. And then the other thing just strikes me is that, here you are, you talk about vulnerable women and your mom, who I'm sure was a wonderful mother, but didn't know business. And yet she's right there in front of you and you saw what she needed. And this also contributed to where you went. Bob, I know you've heard this story, but did that strike you? It just really, for me, it's like, wow, that's a God story.
Well, I think, and as we start talking here about Alex and starting his business, I think when I think of Alex, I think of so many things. I mean, this is a perfect example of a relationship where I feel like 99% of the blessing is coming my way. If I can just give a little bit back to Alex, then I'm doing my job, because I have been so blessed by his story. And when he goes back, and he's shared this story with me a few times, but it hasn't been the focal point of our conversations. But when I hear this story and I see where he is today, the word that comes to my mind is perseverance, is never quitting. And I think that that's been ingrained in Alex. That's part of his DNA. That's who he is. And I think that's why he's been so successful in life, is that he just keeps pushing forward. But yeah, just an amazing young man, just really blessed to be part of this journey with him,
Yeah, that's beautiful. I think of Joseph, from the book of Genesis, and when he said at the end of his story that you intended this for evil, but God intended it for good, and that's fantastic. So, Alex, so you got your degree, and then what?
So coming back to the community with the job, helping vulnerable women, I again saw in my heart that, yes, Alex, you still need to use wisely the gift of life that God gave you. You have special time. Why don't you think of business as mission? It's true you are teaching vulnerable women business skills, but again, why can't you do business as mission? And God connected me to Bob Bush some years ago through a very potential friend of mine, Pastor Jim Weber, who came in Africa. He used to see me growing up, developed. He used to see me when I was very, very young, and he saw the potentials in me. At first, he told me that, Alex, I want you to become a pastor. And I said, no, 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 no. I'm not going to be a pastor because I don't see that calling. But after several years of praying together, asking God, what can I do? He came to me with the idea that I have a friend of mine who is doing and teaching business as mission. Is this the thing that, Alex, you will be interested? And I said, yes, Pastor. If I would become a pastor, then I would become a pastor, a business pastor. I want to teach people business as mission. I want to start my own small business, which will be a means for me to do ministry.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So once and I could take a rabbit trail. I won't do it. But how you met Bob, and you told me a little bit how you got connected, but I know you guys have had a long relationship. And so Bob, definitely jump in here when you think it's appropriate. But so Alex, once you said, okay, God is telling me to do business as mission, What did you do? Where did you start? What was the path he led you on, and what do you feel like was the vision he was giving you? You're already working, teaching vulnerable women. You're already working to help your community. I mean, you're already doing a lot of wonderful things, and now he says go into business as mission. What was in your heart?
It was very, very hard to realize it and to get it before, because God taught me. It was a journey of more than 3 years. Like, I was going and learning and doing my assignment. You know, in Africa, especially the developing, countries here, countries like Tanzania, when someone sees the connection that Alex or someone else is making the connection with Western people, people from US, people from Europe, the first thing that comes to people's mind is that this person is rich and he's just getting free money. So the mindset is based on donations, donations, donations. And I was working with Get Up Global. We received donations. And God told me that, Alex, I want you to be rich. I want to bless you so that you can bless others. You can bless nations. And when I was joining the classes at the beginning, I thought like it was just the deal of USD. Like I just got 20 USD. Then God told me, no, 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 no. I just want you to walk and see the pinch, the pain. Because Alex, you have been teaching vulnerable women about business, and they've been going to do business, and sometimes you give them microloans, they fail to return in time, and you are very harsh. You want them, you don't listen to them. I want you to try. I want you to wear the shoes. And this now was another journey, like 4 years, God taking me through the journey of the realities.
So once God starts speaking like that, you have to respond. You can't ignore him. What did you do?
I started with the studies at the third path, and the IBEC Ventures has got very, very good lessons, tutorials, and I was taking them. And at the beginning, most of us, we don't understand God. So at the beginning, you just lash because you're going to pitch in front of investors. You want to rush and complete them. But several times, God was telling me that, no, Alex, go back, repeat, do this, go back. And I was asking Bob, like, this is how we go. Are we not, out of time? And Bob was like encouraging me that, no, Alex, you just do it. Take your time to understand the ideas.
Boy, I wish more of our students would do that, Bob. And just
Yeah.
for the listeners' sake, Bob is the executive director of IBEC Ventures, which is one part of the TriVenture Alliance, Third Path, IBEC Ventures, and Legacy Generational Foundation, which is the courses, coaching, and capital. Bob's kind of in the middle of that, and here he is. I love it. I love the advice. Go back, do it again, learn it all, learn it again, learn more. I mean, don't fly through it, but take your time and really get it right. I could tell you're a student, Alex. So you did that. And so you're in the courses, and it took you how long to go through this? And of course, Bob's coaching you and encouraging you. Bob is, by the way, just so you'll know, those who don't know Bob, I refer to him as my Barnabas. It means son of encouragement, right? That's what Barnabas's name meant. And when I think of Bob, it's always what I think of. He is an encourager. So clearly, he encouraged you. Hats off to you, Bob. So you're taking the courses, you're hanging in there. You got Bob coaching you and walking with you. What's going on?
The next step was verifying and proving that this business idea will work, because the resources are scarce and we really need to time and target and focus to the right thing. And that's what happened. I presented like two a business plan that failed. And again, I got to ask God, what did you call me to do? What kind of business do you want to do? And I ended up pitching the very, very good business idea. And that was doing with producing herbal petroleum gel and herbal soaps that would help with the skins. People in Africa, people in my communities, they get skin diseases because most of them don't use soaps. And we came with the idea that we could use herbal to produce petroleum gel and produce bars of soap that are not only for cleanliness purpose, but they are also medicine to the small children.
So really, you're serving the whole community from the smallest children up to probably the oldest person in the community. That just with something as I use the term basic, but I don't mean easy because it hasn't been easy. I know, but it's something as basic as soap, a well-made cleansing for the skin that serves them physically. But what happened after that? I mean, did that open doors for you to also talk about? I mean, it would seem like it would open up doors to talk about spiritual cleansing as well. How did the mission side of it come in?
So the vision started when I was watching, and actually, it was God's vision. Like I was watching to the news one time, and I saw how the neighboring countries, Congo, Rwanda, and Burundi, which are in civil wars, and when you see women carrying their, ruggages and their children, the children are very black, they are very dead, they have some scars in their skins. Some of them, it's terrible. And God told me, like, Alex, how will you penetrate and save those people? Because I want to have the military base in your country, because we cannot build the military base in a conflict area or in a fighting place. We build the military base to a place at least, with peace. And God told me, like, Alex, I want you to go and save them. And I said, God, how? How will I go? How will I cross border? And I had, in my heart that it's true through business's mission, because other people will finance, will support their vision, and no one will support your vision. It's you supporting your vision. And they say, okay, God, what can I do? He told me, start slow, start small in your community. Help those who are along the island, who are along in the lakes where big business people cannot go there. Big business people fear transportation cost. They want to make supernormal profit and they cannot go there. They want to reduce some of the ingredients. Their products are not good. So God, through the business lessons, God taught me about being honest, about trustship, about separating my business with others, about value adding, but also about bringing now the spiritual package into my business so that I can meet the community.
Golly, Moses, there's so many lessons here. I can't comment on them all. We'll never finish this. This is so good. So, Alex, what the business has started, God has given you a beneficial product for the community. He's also given you a market. He's given you a narrow definition. Go where other people can't go and bring a quality that they can't bring. So you're doing that. Did it become quickly successful? Were there struggles in the beginning? How did that part of the story go?
Remember, connecting to my dad's story, God transferred the vision to me. And remember, as the devil fought my dad, it was not easy for me. It was not easy. So I had to go through the processes. And I thank God for my mentor. And I would advise even the other listeners and other people, it's good to share your burdens. It's good to have someone to share, because some people won't see if this is good. But I tell you, the way God created us, you need someone above you to tell you, like, do this, do that. You need two people, on the other sides, like lefty and right, for you to be in balance. And you need someone down. Some people have to be down for you to pour. So I thank God that I shared some of the things with my mentor, Bob, who has been very helpful to me. Most of the times, you go and you don't hit, and we discuss, like, are you going to make it? The profits are not good. Sometimes weather conditions are not good. Sometimes even the workers, are not good, but we keep doing. And the best thing that I did was having a team, creating a team, that I don't want to do it by myself. I need a team to work with me so that I can pour the skills I have to other people.
Golly, what a great lesson for our listeners, because we all know this. Business people tend to go alone. They tend to walk by themselves. They tend to hide their struggles. And what you're doing, Alex, is what God says do, right? I mean, he tells us to bear one another's burdens and that is how we fulfill the law of Christ. And I've always asked people, how can I fulfill the law of Christ by bearing your burdens if you don't tell me what they are, if you don't share them with me? So I love that you did that. And I'm hoping our listeners will take a real lesson from that statement, that don't do it alone. Get mentors, get friends, get brothers and sisters around you, your team, right? Bob, you walk through this. Take a minute and kind of give us your perspective on what you saw going on in Alex during this time.
Well, there's so much, like you say, Mike, there's so much happening, I mean, I've been with him now for a number of years, and I guess, Alex is a perfect example of, there's so many others out there like Alex who just need somebody to believe in them, who needs somebody to say, you know what, we're going to do this. I'm going to be here with you. I'm not quitting. You're not a quitter. I'm not a quitter. And we're going to ride this thing out together. We're a team, and so I just felt like my role was as much of an encourager for him and just to provide hope and let him know that he's not alone in this journey. Because in Alex, you see a really, really talented young man who just, I think when I came along, and it was nothing, I think anybody would have done the same thing, was he just needed a chance. He just needed somebody to come alongside him and say, I'm not going to leave you. I'm going to come alongside and help you. And, it took Alex a while to get ready to prepare for a pitch to investors. It's not an easy thing to do. And it's not something that, a lot of folks have done. But Alex worked and worked and worked, and he hit a home run when he went in front of the investors. And I think that gave him confidence. And then we started thinking about his business and how do we build a profitable business together. And he did the due diligence on what product did the community really need. And so he picked the right product, and we put together a process that we could measure. And then he put together a budget. So there were a lot of things that he did. But I do think, what Alex is an example of for me is the ability to juggle a sense of urgency on one hand, because you want it to happen like now, and he's no different. We're all wired that way. But then he also was able to integrate patience. And patience and a sense of urgency don't necessarily work together. But he was patient, and he didn't get out and launch prematurely. He waited until he heard God's calling. And then he did it. Once that door opened, he did have a sense of urgency to go through it. And Alex is the kind of guy where if he says he's going to do it, it's done. I never have to worry about it. It's it's old school, but it's, saying you're going to do something and then delivering on it, and knowing that I'm in partnership with somebody like that, then I've got to be accountable to him to me in a good, loving way that glorifies God,
I'm thinking of a verse from 2 Timothy where Paul tells Timothy, the things that you've learned from me, teach others, teach the faithful men who will be able to teach others. So there's this generational teaching, and you can see that here. Faithfulness and perseverance is so vital. So Alex, you've got the business up and running. So tell me now, what is going on right now? And then after that question, I'll ask you one more about where are you going? What do you, what do you see in the future? But where are you right now?
I have a team of 4 people that we work together, and my wife is part of them. I don't want my wife to be like my mom, just staying at home and taking care of the 3 girls and maybe the future boy. I want her to use the gifts that God gave her, the potential that God gave her to the future, to the generation, to the young girls like that. I want her to be a promising leader. The business is doing good. Every day in the morning, what they do, say, we meet. Before going out, they come, they pray together, they fellowship, and they share, the successes and challenges from yesterday. And, in that way, they pour, they share their burdens. Like, yesterday was not a good day for me. I struggled a lot. Then someone comes, you know what, that day, the day before yesterday, it was very bad to me. But yesterday was good. So keep pushing. They encourage each other. And I thank God that they share, and together we share the common core values that we need to keep going. And as we integrate God, some hearing a young person saying that when it was like 12 noon, I had never thought of selling, and things were bad, and I was like having only 4 hours to end my day. But you know what? I prayed and said, "Oh Lord, help me," and things turned out. I sold 20% of the thing I had. You come to realize that, okay, so this person is giving testimony that after saying, "Oh Lord, help me," 20% of the things that he had sold. And you know what I told him is like, okay, now don't wait until 12 noon to say, "Oh Lord, help me." You just say, "Oh Lord, help me," in 8.
First thing in the morning. I agree. It's interesting, Alex. I hear so many people in my life, and Bob, you hear the same thing. They want us to tell us what does a business's mission company look like, in action. And you just described it. He's got a product that brings blessing to the community. You're using smart business principles. You're not just thinking God will bless you because you're his child. You're doing good business, and you've got this team that is doing life together. Encouragement, accountability, prayer. I haven't heard it described better than that anywhere, because that's the real thing. What you just described is what a kingdom company truly looks like. All right, last question. Then I have one more for you, but it's an easy one. Last question about your business is, where are you going? What do you see in the future? What are your plans that God is giving you?
I see the dream to help vulnerable community coming. I see my business being in a position to finance my ministry trips to Rwanda, Congo, and Burundi, where there are civil wars. Remember, that was my initial vision, that God, I want to help spread the gospel to the nations where refugees are learning, where people are crying. No missionaries are likely to go there. But I want God to help me. And God told me, start a business that you will depend on. Start a business that will finance your trips. And as we talked about persevering, I see myself in the course of 5 years, 7 years, being in a position to finance my trips.
Wow. You got to write a book, brother. That's all I can say. This is worth writing down and sharing with your community, your country, but beyond. This is the fantastic story. All right. So, Alex, I said I had one more question for you. What word of advice, what word of counsel would you give to anyone listening to this podcast or watching this video on YouTube? What would you say to them? Just a word of counsel from your heart, your experience to them.
Sharing our burdens, sharing our stories is very, very, very good. If we have a community that carries one another burdens, the level of death, the level of heart attacks, the level of people hanging themselves, committing suicide will go down.
That is deep and heavy and true. What you just described is really what the New Testament calls it, fellowship, but it's not having a meal together. It's doing life together. It's sharing life in a deep, deep way. Amen. Well, Alex, thank you so much. I'm going to encourage our listeners, please add Alex to your prayer list. He has personal needs, but he also has a company. He's got a team. He's got customers. He's got a dream and a vision. And as you can tell from listening to him, he is not asking you to send him money to do this. He is doing a business that God has given him. He is following the Lord in business's mission, and he's going to need prayer. Alex, I know it's been tough. God has been faithful and gracious to you, and will be. What a blessing to hear this story. Bob, I'm going to give you the last word, and then we will sign off.
Well, Mike, thanks for having us on here. And Alex, like I said at the beginning, I've been so blessed by the relationship that I have with you. It's one that I treasure, one that I will treasure for many, many years to come. And, you are, when we think of TriVenture, you are exactly why we came together, Mike and I and the Legacy team, was because we believe that there's others out there like you who just need help. And if we can just play a part in it and come alongside, then that's why we're here. And seeing you today and how far you've come. And this is just the beginning. It has just been an incredible blessing to me, to the entire TriVenture team. And we are just going to be lifting you up in prayer, like Mike says, in the days to come, because you are touching many, many lives out there. And God bless you for what you're doing.
Amen. Well, brother, I want you to give a hug to Rahima. I want you to give a big hug and a kiss on the cheek to your 3 girls, right? Angel, Blessing, and Praise. You just tell them it's from Bob and me. And God willing, someday we'll be able to see them all in the same place. So thank you so much, and really appreciate you joining us.